Hey everybody, Don, Will, Mark, Darren, Rob, Mad, David, Skaggs. How's it going? Arturo, welcome to the show. Actually started a moment early for once. It seems like the crowd is light though. Unfortunately, the one time I'm early, everybody else is late. Anyway, welcome everybody. We had CPI out this morning. You know, it's kind of like a big event usually if there's surprises, but this morning at precisely 8:30 a.m., the Bureau of Labor Statistics dropped their latest masterpiece numbers, the August Consumer Price Index, CPI. The inflation read for most of us, unless you're Jerome Powell, then you like PCE, producer, or yeah, I don't know, PCE, whatever. Anyway, um, let me tell you, it's a page turner, I guess. It's the kind of story that starts with a bang and gets a little confusing, and leaves you wondering if the author was drinking and when they wrote the ending. So, what's the big headline here? Inflation up, sort of, but kind of not. And the monthly number came in hotter than a habanero at 0.4, even hotter than expected. But when the so called experts, you know, they were evaluating it, expecting a 0.3, and then that big, scary annual number sitting at 2.9. Kind of where they predicted it. So, mostly in line with the story. It's like getting a speeding ticket for going 60 and a 55, but the cop tells you, it's okay. I like it because you got a nice car. I'll just let it slide. But what's driving this roller coaster of a report right now? Usual suspects. Rents up again. Shelter up 0.4. Avocado toast, food prices up 0.5%. That's what I said. Coming into this, I thought food prices were going up. And we're going to see candy bars going up next, later in the month. That's going to make the October read pretty spicy. Inflation's going to hit harder. Cutting rates into rising inflation. Things are going to get a little bit spicy here. The gas you put in your car to drive to the grocery store to buy those candy bars and avocados up 1.9%. That's what I was talking about. Even though the cost of oil was down, wholesale prices on those distillates were up. It's kind of like the circle of life, but for your wallet. Now, all this puts our dear friends at the Federal Reserve in a bit of a pickle because they're set to cut interest rates next week. At least that's what everybody expects. This sticky inflation is like that one friend who won't leave the party. The market is betting on a safe, polite 0.25% cut or 25 basis points. And if the Fed gets a little wild and goes for 50, well, the market might freak out. It's kind of like they're trying to land a 747 on a tightrope, and we're all just watching from the ground, holding our breath. Where's that soft landing, baby? Put it right on the little bitty speck, right? So, where's the opportunity in this madness? Let's talk about winners of CPI. First up, AI overlords. They're going to keep printing money. While the rest of the market is scratching its head, Oracle, we saw Oracle shooting up like 40%, in one day. Added 244 billion in market cap yesterday. That's like finding a winning lottery ticket in the pocket of your old jeans, but this time that ticket is basically an entire country's GDP, if you think about it, added to the value of Oracle yesterday. And that's a little bit nuts when you really think about it. Crazy stuff. And it's not just Oracle. The whole AI party was up yesterday. We saw Broadcom partying. We saw AMD, Micron. Riding the wave, baby. Free money. Zero interest rates. Coming back. I don't know. It's a reminder that even when the macro picture is clear as mud, it's a good story and you can still make a lot of money. And right now, the best story in town, artificial intelligence, at least until this party leaves town. What if you're not a tech bro? What if you don't? What if you're more of a gold bug? Well, good news for you. Gold has been glittering at record highs, pulling back a little bit this morning. It's the wise old man of investments sitting in the corner, quietly nodding, while everybody else is panicking. With the Fed about to print more money, gold looks like a pretty smart place to park some money. Now, this is long term, though. Short term, we may see a pullback. So, for you contrarians out there, the ones that like to zig when everybody else zags, I mean, I don't like to follow the gang, you know. There are some interesting plays potentially out there. The report showed prices for medical care, recreation, and communication actually going down. So while everybody else is chasing the hot new thing, you might quietly be buying up some forgotten sectors, been underperforming that might do better coming up soon. And they'll have their moment in the sun once again. Finally, let's not forget about the wild card in all of this, those tariffs, those pesky trade taxes that keep lurking in the background with all sorts of lawsuits, and Trump can do this and they can't do that, and let's pay them back. And it's a political drama that might have real world consequences on your portfolio. So, as always, keep an eye and awareness about that. So the takeaway, the market's confusing, chaotic, sometimes downright ridiculous, most of the time, sometimes, most of the time. But for savvy investors like us, the ones who can see the story behind the numbers, always opportunity, right? The market's a waterfall of opportunity every single day. Stay sharp, do your homework, and for the love of all that's holy, don't panic about anything, right? Have a plan. We'll make some money out there. So, anyway, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss and past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results. I make predictions in the market. And sometimes they come true. Sometimes I get lucky. Look at this over here. Year to date. Actually, that's all time. All time. Sometimes I get lucky a lot. 90% of the time. Just this year, 94. I mean, sometimes I get lucky. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instruments. If you desire personal financial advice, hire and consult a financial advisor. I'm not playing one on TV or YouTube or anything. If you want to trade stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries, you might lose money. All right, that's the whole thing. So be careful out there. Got the red monster again today. Just that's what's on top. Have a whole case of this stuff, so be careful. Careful out there. It didn't really work earlier in the week, so be careful. So that's kind of the big economic news of the week there, CPI. Got kind of a nothing burger tomorrow. Not really. I mean, we get some survey data with consumer sentiment and inflation expectations. Those have been running hot compared to, I mean, look at these numbers. These, and maybe they're more realistic on what the inflation's actually happening. But the CPI, hey, fairyland numbers, everything's normal. So this is the survey numbers. Some call it the Democratic survey numbers, but University of Michigan there. And consumer sentiment, still running kind of soft here. Consumer, not very confident. Those numbers probably won't move the market much. They do come out after we're already open tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So if you see a little volatility tomorrow, maybe these guys hitting. But how much does it really matter? Next week, we've got retail sales on Tuesday. Nothing really on Monday. Monday's not usually a big day for economic anything. Tuesday, we get that retail sales, which usually drops with PPI, which dropped before CPI, which, usually it's CPI, PPI, and retail sales all together. They broke it all up. So these numbers are probably bad. And they're going to drop them right in front of the FOMC, so we can't really do anything about it. FOMC starts on Tuesday, wraps up on Wednesday. We got poly markets, betting. I mean, to me, this is worldwide sentiment right here. We're kind of locked in pretty tightly. That 85% quarter point cut. World's pretty convinced this is the way it's going down. Pretty convinced. 13% chance, and that's down 6%. So it was elevated a little bit, but and then no change. I think we should probably do no change. It'd probably be devastating for the market and all their expectations of cheaper money. But that's what I think we should do, is just stay where we are. Just chill the fork out. You can argue whatever you want, but that's what I think we ought to do. All right. Good morning. I joined last week, but I don't know where to see your info package. I don't know what that means. Sorry. Don't know what that means. Info package. If you're a channel member, the channel member stuff is on YouTube. If you're join some other something, a lot of stuff's in Discord. So, and if you joined a channel member, the link to join Discord's in there. Not really instructions on how to do it, but kind of assumes you know what to do. So 15 million. Look at that. Wow. There's been $26 million voted up here. Probably on no. $15 million voted right here. $28 million on no change. Man, that'd be... Put your 2 cents in there. That can turn into that'd be a heck of a return right there. More than likely doing a quarter point cut. It's just more than likely. Do I think they should do it? No. They just been out there convincing everybody it's probably a quarter point cut. We do have room to do a quarter point. I'd put us right here. Last year, this time, we did a half point cut. I'd put us down here. And these are, when you look at them, it's the rate's not, it's a target zone between two places. Like currently, we're sitting between, the target rate is 4.25 to 4.5. Average those two together, 4.33. That's the median of the zone. So we do a quarter point cut. We're in the zone of 4.0 to 4.25. And if we did a half a point cut, we're at 3.75 to 4. And anything bigger, you get the picture, right? So this one would be like 4.125. This would be like 3.833. Right there. Dun, 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 dun. What do you get for $5? You get priority access stuff, man. And there's channel posts that are member only. So if you're a channel member, you get to support my video, support my family. There's posts that show what I'm trading in the 50K challenge, and there's other information in there. Like the video I put out last night came out for members only, and then went live for the public today. So that's one of the benefits you get for $5. If you don't like it, that's cool. And on Tuesdays, you get to make all the requests you want during the request show on 30 Minutes of Awesome. There's no limit on requests for channel members. That's what you get. Plus other features and stuff like that. You can join Discord too, but the link's in there in the members area. The YouTube members area is kind of weird. I post stuff in there, but there's not a lot I can do with it. I'm in a group that gives feedback to YouTube, and they're working on improving the features. So we're still looking at the grind higher here. There's the target right up there, 65.80. Couple points left to go. S&P. We're scratching it, baby. Getting close. 65, 62, 63, 65. I've been talking about that 65, 60 level for a while. We're knocking on the door here. Hello, anybody home? Watch out for that to be resistance. Now, can we poke through? Sure. Like that happens plenty enough. We see that all the time on all sorts of stuff. Like this one right here. Meta came up. Knocked on the door. And retesting. So be careful. Microsoft shot on up to near the 618. Now it's back to the 1272. Amazon can't get through that gap. Rejected again. Watch for support down here. Apple. New iPhone's not moving. Watch out. We could take a bigger spill here. This not exactly the most bullish price action I've ever seen. First move up, big and strong. Retrace, took a little while, really nasty. And then this move up has a little more room to run if we were just balanced with the absolutely beautiful correction proportions. But coming up shy can take us all the way back down. Even hitting that level can take us all the way back down. We'd have to break out to new highs to really kind of confirm that things are better. But the way this is all overlapping with all this chop in here and these pullbacks all overlapping that high, not bullish, constructive price action. That's the bottom line here. You know, the only thing that looks semi-bullish is this move right here. But then that fits with this being an A, B, and then what do you get? Let's see. Careful there. Google pushing on out might have the gusto to make it to 263. Might. And for a long time, I said Oracle was the AI catch-up trade, and if you got it, good on you. We are in the zone for this to be dangerous now. When you zoom out, that wave 1, wave 2, this wave 3, despite it looking kind of slightly iffy. Wave 4, we held above. Didn't overlap. You remember I talk about that overlap thing? That's bullish right there. Wave 5, usually similar in size to wave 1. So we ran the fib line, projected it off right here. That gets you this level right here. 320, right where we're sitting. So that means wave 1 and is roughly, maybe a little squiggly, roughly equivalent to wave 5. Maybe it should be 1, roughly equivalent to wave 5. That right there can be done. You know what comes next? Retrace back into the vicinity of 4. Does it have to happen? No. But Oracle's laying off thousands of people, and they're doing it quietly, not making a public announcement. Keeping it quiet for some reason. That's a warning sign to me. Be careful out there. NVIDIA still chopping around in here. We popped yesterday. All that AI juice. If we're going to pop it on higher, That's the level right up there around 210. Tesla keeps trying to break out, hitting our head a lot on this high right back here from June. Grinding it, grinding it, grinding it. We do have one more just above that from late May. Pop through that zone. 450 easy, 500 above that. Netflix still in this technical pattern. Drop here, 3-wave up. We have a little bit more room to go. 1283. Then potentially down for the C right there. Proportion wise, this looks very dangerous for a flush down. I don't like to trade counter the market, so I don't usually take the shorts unless I'm really sure. I haven't taken a short on Netflix, so just throwing that out there. Circling back around to some of our other favorite stuff. Oil still being soft. I'm still short oil, still looking for a drop into the 50s, and despite this taking freaking forever, been looking for this continuation for gosh darn. I mean, we dropped back down here in June. We spiked starting in, we dropped here early May, bottomed out, rallied on all that war rhetoric. War's over. They got what they wanted, higher prices on oil. Corrective move, lower high, drop back below support, back tested support, back testing support one more time. Watch out for the flush. Watch out for new war rhetoric that drives prices higher again. They may start shooting missiles again. If we get down in the 50s, the low 50s, even the 40s. GC. There's the upside. Resistance, 37.37. If we finally decide to correct, which all this is kind of a 3-wave looking thing. And that's the zone to top out in a 3-wave looking thing. First move down, 1, 2, 3. Next wave up, 1, 2, 3. Next wave down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put us down in here somewhere. Maybe even lower low than the A over here. Be careful. Be careful being long-term, long gold until we do this flush. You could get better prices right now. Don't buy at highs. Be very careful. I like to buy on pullbacks. Look, make it a run up, pull back. Make a run up, pull back. Make a run up, pull back. Make a run up, pull back. And this may culminate in a bigger pullback. So that doesn't affect my weekly trade. It's just big picture. All right. Don't get confused between short-term trade and a long-term trade. Short-term opportunities versus this bigger picture potential. So many people get hung up. Well, you said this, that, or the other. Different time frames. Different things for different time frames. Bitcoin's still riding the path. Still looking for tag up in this zone around 118. Maybe even if things get extra spicy, we'll run on up to 122. But right now, expecting resistance at 118. Pull back here, and then we could see more upside. Then we'll probably get a 3-wave retrace, and then more upside. Ethereum trying to do something here. I don't know if it can. It's been in this box. We kind of set this, extend this on over. Look, we've kind of set up this box coming up in here. And now we're just sitting at the upper end of it. If we can break out of it, let's get continuation, break through that 46.50 area, break through that prior high where we rejected pretty nastily, and then get some upside momentum going. Get through this red zone, get up there, 58, 5,900. That's what I'd like to see. Look at her go. Get her go. Man, pull that down to the actual bottom. Might see a little pause here at 44, but bigger picture, this can rally on up to 48, 49, 50,000. Right up in here. My, 50, kind of scratching the bottom of the bigger target. Been looking for that for a while. Be beautiful to see. This is an expansion of global liquidity and might be the final move here. Very likely, if this expands, goes higher, we take risk on assets in the United States with it. Those are likely the 4 things that are going to go higher. We'll see what happens. Russell has the potential to pop on up to 2,600. We've cleared all the resistance and set the runway. We just need the pop at this point. Once you pop, you can't stop. Dollar, still working on that dip down to the target. Grinding, 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 grinding. This is not very classic for a C wave, and certainly not classic for continuation lower down here. So we may spike this right there and then go higher. That going higher, generally speaking, correlated when it's correlated, not when it's not. Generally speaking, if the dollar goes higher, US stocks go down. So we may see this spike down on NKD going higher. NKD spike, dollar spikes down, and then we make a bottom, and then the whole thing reverses, and this goes down, and this goes up, and US markets go down. So be careful. Be careful. That's the name of the game. So I go pull things moving $2 more up, put it on the gainers list, $2 more down, put it on the decliners list, hunt for opportunities. That looks nasty. Golly, man. So look at this. 1, 2. See where it stopped? A, B, C, corrective. Even though it went higher high, trend was down. A, B, C is likely to go lower than the A. It's not magic, just math. Even though we're on the poppers list today, watch out for further decline. MOH, golly, a few of these things beat up today. Checking on Dollar Tree. Let's see what we're doing over here. I have 100 strike puts that I had them sold for earnings last week, rolled them forward to this week, collected a bunch of money. I may roll them forward again for next week because I bet there's a bunch of money again. I may have to wait till tomorrow to do that. Chewy did not make a lower low. I booked out the profit on my 45. And that 45 sold up here. Booked it out on the drop yesterday. Resold to 39 for tomorrow. Probably not going to get called out unless we get a big move today or tomorrow. May close that one out and go for something up here in the 40s for a week or two out. See where the best opportunity lies. Looking at the premium available down here. Oh, look at that. Sweet spot out here. Yeah, we've got 1 week out, more premium, 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out. So it kind of drops into a month out here. Then we spike 2 months out and 3 months out. That's where the earnings comes back in again, I guess. Volatility spike. So you either need to play like 1 week out or a couple months out. Playing 2 to 4 weeks out, not the best right there. Interesting. CMG keeps sucking it up. Buttercup, we're going down for that next level. Seems to be what we're doing. Coming down pretty hard. Well, looking for that to hold support. That is definitely suffering right there. Best premium available right out here, about 2 months out. That's where we got earnings sitting right out there, about 2 months out. Just kind of jumping through things, looking at it. ONC, grinding higher. ABBV hitting the targets, although let's see if there's a better target. Yeah, we can 228, 237. A few people want to know about riots. Could you get a little higher? Maybe. I was out yesterday. That was good enough for me right there. Good enough for me. We got in back here. It's like a 254% winner. Be careful. Doesn't have to give you any more from that. Doesn't have to give you more. That's coming up into the resistance point. And a pullback would not surprise me. Come back and retest right there. Elevance potentially bottoming out. Not really calling to me. Maze Therapeutics, that's biotech. I wouldn't touch that stuff. That's more biotech, pharma. MU. Go, baby, go. Man, look at that. Here we go. Let's go. Beautiful. It's part of the bigger pattern here. Move up, retrace, move up. Target 200, basically. Move up, retrace. If we're going to go super bullish, we'll go up to 400, but let's just get to 200. Make my money and go do something else. Don't touch this stuff. See that reverse split right there? Danger, danger, danger. Like this one, I got freaking lucky. They don't even have all the details anymore. That's weird. Loaded. That's weird. Did that one change tickers today? Yeah, orbs. Change tickers. Look at that. So back here somewhere, I got shares. I don't remember. Maybe signing somebody up for Robinhood. I don't remember. I had some shares, went down, reverse split twice in here, and I got out at 77 roughly, or 75, 77. Got my money back, plus a little bit. Sometimes you get lucky. You gotta watch them though. Adobe still likely to pop down to the target here. That little bounce didn't hit on the daily 4-hour bounce right there. Broke through the 618. Highly likely to extend down in here. Would I trade it? No. Would I buy or sell puts down here if we do that? Yeah, it might be a good idea. So Duolingo, potential to a bottom. Resistance here, resistance here. Pull that down. I'm pretty sure I pulled that down yesterday and it didn't save. 606 on the next upside. That's a high flyer. SDK, SNDK, SanDisk, spun off of whatever else. Here's the high, here's the low. Coming up into that 93 resistance. Going a bit exponential. Be careful. Pull back to the breakout would not surprise me one bit. CRDO. Up to the target. Be careful. That can be done. RVMD. That's potential 3 moves up here. Oh, I just traded something. I don't know what I don't know what it was. It says you made a trade, but I don't know what it was. Potential A. 1, 2, 3. Resistance right here. That's a smaller A, smaller B, smaller C, of a bigger B, and potential for that to come down to a lower low. Biotech Pharma, I'm staying away from it anyway. ETHT, grinding in here. Golly, man. I'd love to see that pop out, but lower highs. Baba, going for the gusto here. You like this breakout, K-Web might be a way. I think I threw this into the bonus channel. Looking for a pop here. 1, 2, 3. So the bigger play here. Bigger potential would be a pop up here to like 49. Gonna put an alert here, an alert here. We'll see what we get. And put one right here. Well, that blasted through and got extensions. And look at that bottoming in the vicinity of that. Maybe that's the bottom. The daily roadmap line is way back up there, so zoom this out. Oh, let's see. And that could have been done. Like, possible we bottom here. possible. 1, 2, 3. Potential, but gosh. Maybe. If this is an opportunity, bottom, top, bottom. The next move might be from here at 35 up here to 120 to 150. Maybe even up here around 180. See what happened last time. Reverse splits. Be careful. Garbage stuff. Eslon, Solana popping up. There you go. MUU popping up. Beautiful. Team grinding lower. And a bunch of stuff here. Core weave. Be careful there. We've seen that pop before. Lower highs. I see the question about circle. Pop on that one really quick. Reversal? I don't know. Looks like we're going down to me. Can it break higher? Sure. What's it going to have to do? Move up? And like we're going to have to prove we're making a higher low. That's not it so far. Big downtrend. Be careful. I wouldn't touch it. Light keeps rocking and rolling. Celsius. Likely to come back to the roadmap line. Doesn't have to, but that's where I'm going to be interested again. Otherwise, the big picture targets, if we can get through the 618, still all the way up here, like way up there around ridiculous levels. It's like, is it on the log mode or not log mode? Log mode 200, not log mode probably only like 150 maybe. All right, decliners love, man, love SAG just getting beat down. Rejecting the roadmap line is not bullish. Be careful for that to come down again. AVAV getting hit. Probably going to come back to the roadmap line. FedEx under the roadmap line. Not showing full reversal yet. Elf Beauty might come back. We hit the target, so watch out for that to retrace again. AMD highly likely to come back to the roadmap line. And that level down here. My 6 setups for today. AOI, AOI. Here's the high, here's the low. Entry, 3370. ARM. I don't want to clear all that. Here's the high, here's the low. 3-wave retrace. Pushing up, 175 target. Not new highs. CAC. That one hit the targets before. Look at that. Beautiful. That's the high. That's the low. Yeah. 512, 515 on the upside. DLR. Bigger picture, big pullback. Smaller. Inside move. 185 target. PBR. I don't like the downtrend here. It's counter trend to the way it's trending. We're looking for 13 on the upside and PRBA. Looking for 1224. So expectation for the day. Be careful. We're topping out. We're hitting the target. There it is. That target we've been talking about for months. Be careful. IPOs release. 95% of them are bearish or start out corrective. That doesn't mean they won't go higher. It just means that they're going to go lower than the IPO price 95% of the time. So what do I think? I think I don't touch IPOs because 95% of them are bearish, and I don't like to trade things that are bearish because that's counter to the market. So once it makes a low, lower low, then it presents opportunity. Then you need to move up and a retrace and a hold a higher low, and then you're off to the races. So, all right. Have a good day, everybody. We'll be back. I might be on Profit Panel. I don't know. They if there's like some internal debate going on. That'd be 2:30 if I am. prosperitypub.com/profit panel. If not, I'll be back here tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Come watch me, 9:15. I have this video if you want to watch it right here. Put that out this morning, 4 hours ago. You can go watch it. Have a great day.